Jennifer Walters is bringing a new Green Goliath to the MCU. So move over, Bruce Banner. After more than a decade after the Incredible Hulk standalone feature, the hero's cousin, dubbed She-Hulk, has a Disney Plus series of her own to her credit. Tatiana Maslany, a fan favorite of Orphan Black, will play the next Goliath. Jennifer Walters, an accomplished lawyer until she receives an emergency blood transfusion from Bruce Banner and becomes a superhero. With Marvel Cinematic Universe veterans Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth returning as the Hulk and the Abomination respectively, the ensemble is starting to take shape. With that, here's what you need to know about Marvel's upcoming series, She-Hulk. Release date. It is likely that She-Hulk will be released in 2022. However, no official release date has been set. The streaming service once again stated that the title will be coming soon during its 2-year anniversary celebration for Disney Plus Day. The celebration saw the platform show out some videos exclusively on the service and also unveil an all-new logo for the event. The first season will consist of 10 30-minute episodes and will be billed as a legal comedy by producer Kevin Feige. Cast. After emerging to notoriety on the famous sci-fi drama Orphan Black, where she portrayed various characters, Tatiana Maslany will play Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, in her self-titled series. Meanwhile, Mark Ruffalo is confirmed to be returning to his beloved Avengers role of Bruce Banner, last seen having a solid grasp on his rage issues in 2019's Endgame. The video for the series as broadcast are part of Disney Plus Day shows, Jennifer and Bruce interacting substantially as he teaches her about her talents. Bruce emerges in normal form as well as Professor Hulk, implying that the superhero will no longer have anger blackouts. Tim Roth is returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the monstrous Abomination, who was initially featured in 2008's The Incredible Hulk, starring Edward Norton, in a long-anticipated movie. He was jailed at the end of the movie, but his whereabouts in the decade since have not been known, so anticipate the She-Hulk series to fill in some blanks. Ginger Gonzaga was added to the series cast in January 2021, and she was announced to be Jennifer Walters' best friend. However, her character's name has yet to be disclosed. In April 2021, Deadline broke the news that Renee Elise Goldsberry, widely known for playing Angelica in Hamilton, will play a character called Amelia. Finally, in June 2021, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that The Good Place actor Jamila Jamil will play Tatiana, the villain. In the comics, Tatiana is a longtime opponent of She-Hulk and possesses super strength. She has evolved from a villain to an anti-hero in recent years. Jessica Gao will serve as the main writer of the series, fresh off her Emmy win for the authoring of Rick and Morty's famed Pickle Rick episode. She-Hulk's place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While past Marvel TV shows, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., were theoretically set in the MCU, their connections to the films were shaky at best. But thus far, the Disney Plus program, Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, and Hawkeye all relate directly with the events taking place in the MCU. In fact, in an interview with Bloomberg, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige said, "If you want to understand everything in future Marvel movies, you'll probably need a Disney Plus subscription." With Mark Ruffalo joining the She-Hulk ensemble, it's reasonable to assume that the universe's angstiest relatives will pair up in an Avengers film at some point. Now, let's talk about the trailer. The entire trailer for the Marvel Studios series She-Hulk has yet to be published, but as part of Disney Plus Day, Disney Plus has offered a peek for forthcoming Marvel series. The clip introduces Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters and her career as a practicing lawyer. Her green She-Hulk form is also teased in the clip, although we don't get a full body view or a look at her face yet. Mark Ruffalo, who plays Bruce Banner and Professor Hulk, is also seen in the footage. It also includes a throwback to the 1970s program, The Incredible Hulk, with Walters telling Banner that you won't like her when she's furious, in a retro clip. The footage has yet to be posted publicly, but it is only available to Disney Plus customers on the streaming service. here are a few more facts you need to know about She-Hulk. She-Hulk is actually a fifth member of the Fantastic Four. Ben Grimm lingered on Battleworld for a few months longer than the rest of the heroes after the events of Secret Wars 1984, leaving the Fantastic Four with a vacancy. She-Hulk was suggested to take his position, no doubt due to the fact that, like the Thing, she was one of the biggest hitters in the universe. In 1984, with Fantastic Four number 265, she was introduced as a full-fledged member of Marvel's first family, with her first appearance in number 266, when she is in the hospital with Sue Storm after the latter fell due to pregnancy difficulties. These weren't, however, her first appearances in a Fantastic Four comic book. John Byrne wrote and drew She-Hulk as a character for the first time in Fantastic Four number 254, and went on to write and draw some of the most legendary storylines in She-Hulk's history. Her ability to switch bodies. Of course, She-Hulk isn't limited to her initial talents. She can also learn new ones. When she had to alert her colleagues aboard a Skrull ship, her fellow prisoners, members of the ovoid species, gave her the mind transfer ability that their race is famed for in Sensational She-Hulk number 45. Using it to transfer with her buddy Wheezy, however, the ability backfired. They didn't trade thoughts, but rather physical height and ability. Wheezy, on the Skrull ship, was given She-Hulk's height and strength, while She-Hulk was left as a green, 5'2" prisoner with no talents as a result. The gamma radiation in her blood interfered with the transference, leading her to assume the physical shape of the patient, as it finds out in the following issue. The opportunity for Wheezy to shine came when she took down her jailer and persuaded the Skrull commander to assist her in rescuing Jen. Both ladies returned to their former states after this swap was not as permanent as the ovoid claimed. She-Hulk was able to rip apart the Vision. She-Hulk is a long-standing member of the Avengers and even commanded her own group known as A-Force for some time. Although the Avengers were initially excellent for Jen, she has been deceived by her closest allies several times, most notably during the Avengers' disassembled arc. Jen's difficulties were revealed to be due to Scarlet Witch's machinations, who compelled She-Hulk to kill the Vision by ripping him in half after a sequence of incidents that promoted her to doubt her ability to manage her power and wrath. She-Hulk was able to break the fourth wall. She-Hulk was breaking the fourth wall long before Deadpool, as we previously stated. When John Byrne was on Sensational She-Hulk, Jen's comic savvy was most evident. Many times, readers have seen her communicate with the writer and editing team, but her fourth wall breaks aren't limited to her own work. In 1998's Heroes for Hire number 14, for example, She-Hulk is seen firing the narrator for being very worthless. The narrator protests and tries to convince her that it's Stan Lee, Stan Lee's girlfriend, and Monica Lewinsky. It was the late 90s, all of which takes place in front of Luke Cage and Scott Lang. However, they're just getting She-Hulk's version of the story because she talks to nobody from their perspective. She-Hulk has a law degree. She-Hulk, like her cousin Bruce Banner, has two sides to her: the professional Avenger and Jennifer Walters, a former UCLA student. Unlike the Hulk, however, she has complete control in She-Hulk form and has access to all of her cognitive capacity from her law degree. Jennifer Walters isn't unusual to show up to court hulked out and dressed in business attire due to this little added upside to her skills. The confidence she gains in her green form will undoubtedly aid her in her duties as legal counsel, and it will undoubtedly be a display of force for the opposing counsel. Jen's other side is a big aspect of the She-Hulk comics. Viewers will not only be treated some ass-kicking in street justice, but they will also see court appearances that equal any courtroom drama on the small screen, much like Daredevil. Charles Soule, a writer and New York City attorney, has contributed to both of these titles. Her law firm is named after comic legends. From Spider-Man against the Daily Bugle to Howard the Duck versus Lucas, the Marvel Universe's other fictitious legal firm, Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, has taken on numerous cases inside the pages of She-Hulk, in which Howard wanted to sue George Lucas over movie rights. This is an obvious homage to the publisher's pre-Marvel Comics identity, which is based in Timely Plaza in New York City. When Martin Goodman, Marvel's first publisher, recruited She-Hulk in 2004, Holden Holloway appeared as the fourth member in 2004's She-Hulk #1. It gets its name from Stan Lee, whose actual surname was Lieber, and Jack Kirby, who was born Jacob Kurtzberg. There's a caveat. She dresses as Jennifer Walters to avoid influencing judges with her huge green reminder of her previous heroism. Jen discovers during her stay at the GLK&H that her strength in her She-Hulk form is directly influenced by how powerful she is as a human, prompting her to begin training in her human form, dramatically boosting her She-Hulk strength. Leader of the A-Force. Marvel fans were treated to another Secret Wars in 2015. During the not-so-great crossover, the regular Marvel universe fused with many other realities, creating a patchwork universe where there can exist more than one version of certain characters. G is a character from Secret Wars 2015, who appears in the crossover event. A-Force was developed by Willow Wilson, Marguerite Bennett, and Jorge Molina, an all-female Avengers squad led by She-Hulk. Singularity awakened on Earth 616, the primary reality, when the universes united into one following Secret Wars and attempted to unify her team's 616 incarnations. Captain Marvel, Medusa, Dazzler, Nico Minoru, and She-Hulk, who would become the team's captain, were among the characters she was successful in getting together to combat antimatter. Sadly, despite its positive critical response, A-Force was short-lived, with just 15 issues in 2 volumes overall. What are your thoughts about Marvel's upcoming new series She-Hulk? Let us know in the comments section down below. We hope you guys liked the video. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.